Hello there, my name's Sean, also known as the Determinator. Today you've got an exciting game in the semi-finals of the Tawny Tufted 2 Team Tussle, the team tournament, and as you can see I'm against Groovenstein, so when you're against a player like that you want to have a good starting hand, and yeah, as you can see I was furnished with plenty of options here. In the tray you'll notice there's a raven too, so couldn't have asked for much better. Got 3 really good birds that I definitely needed to keep here. The yellow-headed blackbird, the ruff and the black-headed gull. So obviously straight away I was thinking, okay, yellow blackbird, black-headed gull, down and then dig as much using the wetlands and get started that way. Get a few cards. And then try and get the ruff down, try and get the food for the raven. That's quite a lot to do in the first round, and particularly, obviously, as soon as my opponent sees the black-headed gull, then they're going to be using up their food as quickly as possible, so it wasn't absolutely guaranteed that I would get food. So, yeah, it was difficult. I had a lot to think about here, how I was going to set up, because obviously I want the blackbird and the gull down, but 4 food, and I can only keep 2 food, so how was I going to get set up? Was I just going to take 2 single food to do that, or try and use the gull to get food, but not guaranteed. But really, you want the blackbird down first to get eggs, and there's a lot to think about here. So the Dunnock also in the hand, which normally definitely could be useful to play early on and get a few eggs. Obviously, no guarantees that your opponent's going to be using their grassland, but yeah, with a less good starting hand, you definitely look keeping it. But here I had a lot of birds. Couldn't really keep a 4th bird and only have 1 food, so but yeah, my cogs turning in my head trying to work out how to set this up really and get it going as quickly as possible. Yeah, so the black-headed gull and the ruffs all work against each other, don't they? Because you're getting cards, but you're also getting rid of them on the blackbird, so you're not going to have a huge amount sort of surplus to tuck with the ruff. So that was a bit of an issue I had to think about. Definitely, I could definitely use with some more card draw at some stage, as soon as possible to make that work. But yeah, bonus cards at least was easy to decide. Citizen Scientist or Platform Builder. So with Platform Builder, at least the Raven would start us off for that. So yeah, obviously, first action should take the Raven, no doubt about that. And of course, brilliant roll 16 there. I had the great luck at the start, but my opponent got the white stork, so things were turning a little bit the tide. So yeah, even though I'd thought about it for ages already with the starting hand, I started to think again about how I was going to set this up and what the best thing to do was. Just take 2 food and then put them in, or maybe utilise the black-headed gull to try and get food. But of course the problem was now my opponent had the exact food for the white stork, so if I played the black-headed gull now, they're probably just going to put the stork down and I'm not going to have any food access. So that was what was going through my mind. So maybe not worth doing that. Maybe just get the blackbird down. Maybe just get 2 food. Might be the more reliable way of doing it, even though it's a bit slow. So yeah, that's what I decided to do. Just get the black-headed gull down, the blackbird rather, and probably just go for food twice and get the food for this gull. Yes, they started off with the nightingale, so that's nice. Definitely could use with getting some free food. I was about to get the food, but I thought, we'll delay it. We'll get some eggs in first, and hopefully get some free food from the nightingale, and that will help us. And indeed it does. We get one of the food we need, so that did save my turn there. I could have waited again and seen if I got a worm, but that was fairly unlikely, I think, so. Yeah, so in goes the stork, and of course they didn't have any food now, which is not great, but obviously they've got the nightingale, and that's their only food access at the moment, so clearly they'll be using that, at least to begin with, and obviously gives themselves food that I can steal. So I imagine what they did here, seeing the back of the gold, they're going to use the nightingale and give themselves food that they don't need, in the hope that I take it off them so that they can then get something they do need from the tray. I'm guessing that's how I would play it in their situation here, and yeah, time go. I'm not sure it was a Maltese Warbler game. I did consider it, but not really. Yeah, obviously I drew the hooded crow then, which could definitely be useful as some grassland defence if they built up a grass. Oh, they have built up a grassland. They've got white stork, so that could definitely be useful there. Place no eager, I think maybe for the underground, but also just to get rid of the food, so I didn't have anything to steal. Not great options coming up. The Merganser, I mean, as I said before, I need a lot of cards if I'm to run like a rough and this blackbird, so maybe the Merganser might be useful. But obviously a priority here was to get the food for the raven, I think, above all else. Because once that's down, that's solving quite a few of our problems. So yeah, my opponent's still giving out fish. Took the owl here because when you've got a raven, obviously playing big point birds is always a good idea. So grab that as well. Also got the Clark's Grebe then, which might be useful definitely. Star Nest. Cheaper than the Merganser, even though the power's not quite as good, but I was now full on the blackbird, so that's something to think about. But I now had the food to play the raven, albeit forcing it down. Yeah, I didn't have anything thin around, but that's fine. Don't mind too much about that. And the start of the second round, and they get a raven to take. So yeah, the luck has swung very, very convincingly over to my opponent there. Now potential for white stork and raven in the grassland, which is very frustrating given the start I had here. I needed this good start, and now it's been neutralised a little bit. Yeah, definitely considering taking the spotted owl here. Again, another really good bird. Obviously a bonus card bird, and sort of bird you want to play if you've got raven. But problem is I was full on eggs on the blackbird, so I decided to leave it and just go for the raven here, to get the raven in. So as you see now, I've got the Hooded Crow and the Ruff, both of which cycle cards. And again, I've got the issue here of I've got a blackbird. I've got a blackbird that obviously consumes cards, and yeah, my card draw is not really good enough. Definitely not to run both of them, the Crow and the Ruff. So that was the problem here. Yeah, I decided that I did want to take that out, even though I'm full on the blackbird, and I chose a moment when my opponent had some food to steal. Yeah, so definitely not optimal here. with a full blackbird, but I suppose in hindsight I could have left it because I don't think my opponent obviously didn't take it. Obviously getting cards for them from the tray is not ideal because they've. I think have they only got the snowy egret, or they put something else in now, but yeah, so maybe I could have left it, but I did want it though. And obviously if I left it too long then they just reset the tray and it's gone, so. So yeah, obviously they have obviously an incredible grassland now once they get this raven in, so this grassland defence with the hooded crow was actually really important, even with my lack of cards. I thought it was really important to do, so. In hindsight I could have played that in the wetlands, maybe, but it would have gave me access to only one extra card. Oh, no, same with this Clark's Grebe. I was thinking, well, I could have played the Clark's Grebe in the wetlands to try and get more cards, but then obviously you'll usually have to use an egg to get one. You know, you're only gaining one and losing an egg, so is it really that great? Maybe I could have kept that Rebecca Merganza might have been a good idea, but yeah, it is in hindsight to think that, but yeah. Yeah, so I didn't have a huge amount to go for here. I think just obviously the end of round is birds, there's eggs in the forest, so I did need to get a bird in the forest ASAP. So obviously, really, it was one of these owls I had. It was the only option I had in my hand, so that's what I was going for. So yeah, and it also beats my bonus card, of course. The owl, that particular owl. Yeah, so a very scary system they've got now in the grassland, and I was definitely getting a sinking feeling in the match at this point. I had such a good start, but the luck has definitely gone my opponent's way since, really. So yeah, again, not much to go for. May as well maybe get the food for this owl. Maybe get a variety of food. Yeah, I had to be brutal and get rid of a few gods that I could have kept, but yeah, there's no way I could run Rough and the Crow, I don't think. Maybe, but as you can see, we've got Purple Mine in the tray. Flip up but a Benny's Eagle, but it's the end of the round, so no one gets hold of that. However, in the next round, I get a wood duck in the tray, and I have to think about whether that's worth doing here or not. I decide that it doesn't really work. Obviously, I've got a raven, so getting food is no problem. So I didn't really need to start a forest engine, and so I just get the Purple Martin down. Obviously, certainly my opponent wouldn't want it either, but they can obviously just get rid of it with the stalk. Obviously, the Martins also helps with this end of round with the cavity nests, but also the Swift here. See, when you've got a Raven, if you've got, it's certainly a good backup to have a bird which gets rid of food like that if you can't find other birds for your engine, etc. You can sort of make the Raven into an engine bird by using it to get the food that you then discard for cards, top cards. But yeah, looking at this end around, I'm thinking that bluebird in the tray could be useful here. just to push out my grasslands. And see, my opponent had some food I could steal. I could steal the food for the bluebird. So that's all worked quite nicely there. So I'm not doing so well at the end of round so far, so I definitely think I needed to target at least this one. But I decided to skip the blackbird just to have something to cycle with the martin and also the crow at the end. Difficult decision there. But yeah, it all stems from just not having enough card draw. That was a problem throughout this. Yeah, I definitely think that maybe the rest of Merganser would have been... I should have played earlier, but just to get a bit more card draw, that might have solved a lot of problems that I'm having here. So Cuckoo comes up in the tray, another grass and defense, which I definitely was interested in, but I decided I couldn't really keep getting things in the tray. I had to get on with setting up this. So yeah, a lot of bonus cards for opponents got now. And I'm not doing so well on mine. Still only got 3 platform nests. So yeah, going for this end around, getting a few eggs in the cavity nests. Seeing what the martin gives. Nothing too interesting on this occasion. But yeah, just grabbing the worms to put under the swift here. Yeah, I played the tree swallow here. I can only assume that was for the end of round to try and compete for it, but because I don't think it met any of their bonus cards. I might be remembering that wrong, but and maybe it was also just to make it easier for them to pick up tray birds, possibly as well. Yes, all the worms to get under this swift. Being patient with my spotted owl here. Again, just don't have the cards. Don't have the cards to run this hooded crow effectively, but only had one that I could get rid of. So yeah, a few more residual points here to be got, but yeah, not great on the crow. But I decided I had to be ruthless here and get rid of the owl finally. Opponent not tucking, so I did consider the goldfinch, but it's not massive use here. But I just take the heron because it's a platform nest, so it definitely could potentially be useful if I could find something to pair it with. So yeah, I got the worm for my heron, which is nice. And then got the king row, which is exactly what the sort of thing I was after. Get another worm to help with this double play. Might help at the end of round here too. So yeah, it's been a weird game. Definitely been... It was such an amazing start, and I've just been struggling along ever since against this incredible engine. Definitely don't feel I played optimally. I think I did the best I can with the birds I played, but maybe... Yeah, it all comes back down to card draw. Card draw is so important in this game, especially when you're running all these birds that tuck cards and stuff. Yeah, so now got the food for the double play here. Annoyingly, we're going to be still one short for the platform builder for the upper band, but hey ho. So yeah, hopefully this King Rail will give us a different bonus card to go at. And we got a very lovely bird counter, perfect. Yeah, a lot of those attacking birds, and that's definitely papered over the cracks in terms of the bonus cards. So yeah, just a case of 2 last egg lays and get some more worms. Yeah, so now I have the decision of whether I play this warbler instead of egg laying on the last turn. So basically it came down to egg laying was 6 points, 4 eggs, a purple martin tuck, and then I got obviously getting 1 point effectively with the raven, getting worms for the swift. But playing the warbler was 7 points. However, it meant I didn't have a card to tuck under the crow at the end, so they effectively were the same. However, if it wins the end of round or even draws the end of round, then that makes the warbler better. So that's what it came down to. Obviously I was getting last here, so I could see whether I was in with a chance of getting anything for the end of round. If I wasn't in a chance of getting anything for the end of round, then it was basically the same. Playing the warbler or egg laying was the same. And as you can see, the end of round was out of reach, so it didn't really matter. I decided just to egg lay. I don't think there was any, because I don't think they had any gross and defences or anything, so it didn't matter which one I did, so I just egg laid. So yeah, end of game now. So I missed out on 3 hooded crow tucks throughout the game, which is not great, but yeah, that was the situation I was in. A few more swift tucks, and yeah, end of rounds definitely a weakness of mine there. But yeah, no, I thought I'd lost the game, but I was pretty happy with how it went. Did the best I could. Yeah, maybe like a card draw throughout, but other than that, it was good. But yeah, very good bonus cards, 21, and they were streaking ahead at this point, but I knew I had lots of tucks, and they didn't have basically any tucks, and it was a close one. I was delighted really to only lose by 5 points against Groovenstein with a Stalk Raven, so I was happy with that. And let's have a look at the bonus cards. Like you see, lots of very, very good bonus cards. So that definitely won the game for them, really. Well, all those bonus points. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.